one of the things that I was very hopeful with you is that you've always been almost a martial artist first and a fighter second. And in that you're always learning and you're always practicing. Like you would always take time in between camps and you would, do jiu-jitsu in Brazil, or you would be constantly practicing your Muay Thai. You're always trying to learn and improve your game. And I was thinking when you came back, I was like, if you were saying that you were better than ever, I'm like, man, he might be better than ever. Like you're the one guy that I believed. Because a lot of times guys come back and you're like, man, he's been out of the game a long time. Who knows how hard he's been training? Because a lot of fighters, when they're not in camp, when they're not preparing for a fight, they don't like to train that much because the grind of camp almost wears on. Like, you know how you see a lot of fighters after they retire, they get really fat.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, how could he get fat? Like, I was looking at Maidana the other day. There's a picture of Maidana's Chino Maidana. He's got his Instagram page. He's fat as fuck. He's got a cigar. He's drinking a whiskey. I mean, he just fought Floyd Mayweather a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And he was ripped, and they retire and they don't give a fuck anymore. They're like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I knew you were still training because I would see, like, in the Renzo Gracie, the guys who were training with you there, and I knew you were training with Danaher. I knew you were constantly training and you looked good. So I was like,
when I left off, like more than 4 years ago, I knew I wanted to come back because I was not in an happy place. I had a lot of personal problems, and I should have even stopped earlier than after my fight with Hendricks. If I would have stopped earlier, I would have maybe come back earlier as well. I felt like I was like kind of a feeling of a claustrophobic feeling, like I couldn't breathe well, I couldn't sleep well, my mind...
Too much pressure?
Too much pressure, personal problems, so much stuff. A lot of stuff happened to me that it's still too early in my life, and for the respect of some people, I know I couldn't talk about it. One day I will. It's all mixed together. I knew it was a drug issue in the sport. I felt it. I did feel well, and I was trying to perform under those conditions, and it was catching up to me.
Yeah.
And I did it. But the reason why I think I didn't lose the edge is a lot of people, because we do an extreme sport. It's like what we do is kind of a life and death situation. It's not because there's a referee, but the spirit is the same as a gladiator or a person in a war that goes to war. He thinks he's going to die. It's the same spirit, even though it's not the same thing. We go there in the same spirit that we're ready to give it all. It's such an extreme feeling that once you don't have that in your life kind of become boring. You feel like you're not alive anymore. Yeah. So that's why when people stop, they retired and they try to come back, a lot of the people, they fall into drugs because they want to catch up to that. They want to feel alive again. So they need that sensation that they had previously, but they couldn't get it back unless they do drugs or they do something crazy, extravagant. The thing with me is I knew I was going to come back. And also, I always like to train and keep myself in shape, and I never did drugs. Like I never did hard drugs. I drink. I drink. Sometimes for my birthday last Saturday, I went out and I was completely wasted. Okay, it is what it is. I like to deteriorate myself sometimes. I'm not perfect.
Just have a little fun.
Exactly. And what's the goal of doing this if you're not enjoying your life? What's the goal of it?
Right.
People to fight, you say, no, I don't like to fight. And that's another thing I like to talk to you about. People say, why you do that if you don't like to fight? It's like, because I like my lifestyle, that it gives me. But that's why people, I believe, if we come back to what you say, that's why I think people, they have a hard time to come back after so many years because they fall into that trap.
Right.
They need to feel alive, so they find ways it make them feel alive, but it's deteriorate themselves.
Yeah. Drinking.
And I didn't do that. I did not do that. And I would never will, hopefully. It's not my thing,
So when you decided to come back, how far out did you decide? But you took 4 years off.
Yeah.
How many years in were you like, I think I'm ready to come back?
When I see USADA and the drug testing program being implemented, then I saw a lot of
people deflate.
Yes, a lot
Did
of
you
people.
feel vindicated?
Huh?
Like, did you feel vindicated when you saw like some of these people just?
I feel a little bit of a. I mean, it feels bad to wish people bad luck to get some kind of recognition, but that's not what I want to do. I don't wish people bad luck. But if you cheat, man. And a lot of people got caught. And finally, a lot of people in the beginning, including my own friend, they think, like, I was talking to some of my own friends. They say, oh, you're paranoid. You become paranoid. You need to take a break. You're going crazy. Just retire or get out. You know, you're paranoid. Because I was talking about it a long time before Hendrix. And everybody was disregarding me. But now when it happened, a lot of the champion fell. And a lot of the hero in the sport, they got pointed out with the finger as, hey, he's a cheater. So now it became real. So when I saw that happen, it was for me a beginning to start. And now it's time to come back, you know, because I'm a guy of if I said something, you know, I'm gonna do it. I don't want to come back when the sport was dirty. That's one of my thing.